Hello, what's up everybody? I can't wait to share this video with you guys. So, today I wanted to talk about one of the three major reasons why I became depressed, and that was my job and my career path. And it took me a long time to get to this point today to where I finally have an idea of what I want to do. So, just to give you a little bit of a background, I graduated Drexel with a degree in chemical engineering and a minor in business. I graduated in 2014, spent the summer looking for a job, didn't really care too much, landed my first job in September, and have been working that same 9-to-5 type job ever since. It didn't take me long to realize that I didn't like it. I had done several co-ops at Drexel, which were full-time positions in engineering. I always got depressed while I was on the co-op, and I really didn't put any thought into what I would do afterwards. I always thought there'd be a better position or be somewhere in engineering that I would like. Turns out I get to my first job, doesn't take me long to realize that, still not digging it, and I start reading books on self-help and entrepreneurship. My job was okay for a while. I did a lot of travel in the beginning, which was cool. It kept it different, I stayed in hotels and would be in the office sometimes, and it spiced it up, and I liked that. And then it all went downhill. June of 2015, about a little more than a year ago now, I had surgery on my right arm. I used to be huge into lifting weights, and I went too hard. This was my second surgery actually on the same spot. And I could talk about surgery and chronic pain for days, but anyway, that sidelined me from work for about 2 months. I initially came back a week after surgery, and I was on painkillers for 2 months. The week that I stopped them, I went into withdrawal, which was, 2 months after surgery. It was one of the worst experiences I could ever imagine. I went through tremors, which I thought were almost like seizures, mini seizures. My body was trembling, major depression, couldn't get out of bed, crying episodes, suicidal thoughts, the whole spiel, And I remember actually the one day laying in bed, I wasn't able to get any sleep. The painkillers left me extremely anxious and restless as well. I got no sleep one night, and this had been continuing for days, but this was the first night that I ever didn't get any night of sleep. And I remember writing an email to my boss saying I had to go out on disability due to depression, pain, etc., etc. And I can't tell you what that time was like. Only my friend Paul probably could relate, because he spent a lot of time with me during that time, but it was not fun at all. That was sort of the beginning of me trying to understand my depression and my pain, and I went into full-fledged research mode. So aside from the chronic pain and the post-surgical pain and the depression from that, I'm going to focus strictly on the job thing. So luckily, while I was out on disability, I had some time to think about what I wanted to truly do in life, and I thought real estate made sense to me. I was really addicted to money, and real estate, in my definition, is one of the rarest resources on earth, if not the rarest. We have 7.5 billion people here on Earth. We're always growing. Who knows when we're going to hit our carrying capacity, 10 billion, 11 billion, who knows? I think we'll actually get to Mars. What Elon Musk is doing is, I think, amazing. I think we'll colonize Mars somewhere in the future. But anyway, I thought real estate would be great. It's so rare. It's only getting rarer because we're always getting more people on Earth. And if you buy it and hold on to it, it's a great investment. I thought it was better than the stock market. I still think it is, by the way. So I went ahead and got my real estate license. I did some of it during my disability. I wasn't, the best at it. I didn't get too much done. But I kept on it, kept doing it, and I got my real estate license the beginning of this year. As far as the real estate thing went, I ended up giving my hardest. I read 4, 5, 6 books, went to seminars, paid hundreds of dollars. Ended up sort of partnering with my buddy Paul and creating a real estate team together, a partnership basically. Invested several hundreds of dollars to get it off the ground. Marketing, advertisements, logos, you name it. Put in the time, was working, 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Got exhausted, was working out every day. And it wasn't making me happy. Long story short, it just was not making me happy. And my body, it was taking a huge toll on my body. Extreme stress, still working the 9-to-5 thing. So if you made it through this far in the video, this is where you're gonna wanna pay attention. So 2 or 3 months ago, I read one of my top 3 favorite books of all time, and I put the link here below. You can buy it on Amazon for probably $10. It's called The One Thing. It's written by Gary Keller, who ironically is the owner of Keller Williams, which was the real estate agency that I had joined. Didn't read it just because Gary Keller was the author. It had been recommended to me by countless entrepreneurs and public figures of authority, and I'll tell you what, it's worth its weight in gold. It is just like any other book. It took some time for me to reflect and think on what the content and what I had read for it to start to affect the decisions in my life and my thinking. And it's brought me here today. Can't tell you how excited I am to quit my job. It has not been right for me. It's not the correct career path. As of the time of this video, my last day will be next Friday, September 9th. That book helped me figure that out a lot. It breaks down what's most important in your life and what you really want to focus on. I'm not telling you that's the only thing you should look into or read to figure out career-wise what you want to do to make you happy, but the minute I made the decision to quit my job, my happiness levels like multiplied by 3, and I'm still working that 9-to-5 job. And I just have a lot more happiness now knowing that this huge weight is going to be like lifted off my shoulders. And don't get me wrong, don't ever quit your job if you don't have enough money saved up. I was in a lucky position where I had enough money stored up and I can take a few months off and reflect and think about things. I'm taking a trip to Thailand and Southeast Asia. But another thing I wanted to share with you that I just actually did a couple days ago, which also helped solidify what I think I really want to do in life. I'm really big into personality tests. There's tons of free ones. You can take ones that are an hour long, 5-10 minutes long. You can pay for them. The list goes on and on. But this one was really good. I'd recommend actually trying to take as many as you can to really kind of understand. I wish someone had exposed me to them earlier. I remember taking one in like high school and it said I was going to be a bus driver. Some of them can be pretty crappy, but like I said, I'd recommend taking as many as you can and sort of compiling a list of all of them and reading through them and telling you, how they think. But anyway, this one took literally 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I can't recommend you guys to try it. And I've put the link down below. I can't believe how accurate it was with my beliefs and just personality. It's like 16, 17 pages long. It's called 16personalities.com. It breaks life down into like 7 or 8 subjects: relationships, friendships, work, career paths, your strengths and weaknesses, and describes how you as a person would act in each of those categories, as well as gives you the Briggs and Meyer, I think they call it, 4-letter breakdown of what kind of personality type are you: introverted or extroverted? Are you a thinker? Are you a feeler? Are you intuitive or non-intuitive? It's all explained very well on the website. Like I said, can't recommend it enough. It was great. I don't know what else to say. You should take it. Just as a side note too, during my most depressive days, I probably should have had a different affirmation, but I'm a big believer in affirmations. If you don't know what they are, they're basically little sayings that you would say perhaps each morning. You should write it down on a note. Anyway, something I did while I was depressed, which perhaps I should have written a different affirmation, but it's one I had wrote to myself every morning and night. I had it on this note card actually. I'll read it to you right now. It says, "I intend to acquire $1 million by the time I am 32. I intend to accumulate it through real estate transactions, business ventures, and other entrepreneurial avenues that allow me to work for myself." So I read this each morning and each night. So basically by saying that to yourself every morning and night, you sort of give yourself the energy and the guidance, and it gives you sort of that destiny to veer yourself towards that whatever you could have written down. And you can write this about depression, a relationship. What you want to do is you want to think about your problem. If it's depression, if it's a bad relationship, what do you want to attain? Think about when you want to attain it by and how you're going to attain it. And it doesn't matter if you get there or not. You could say, for example, I want to get a job promotion by the end of the year by working 1 extra hour a week. And you read that to yourself every morning and night. Almost like the laws of physics and the world just sort of all bend to that moment, that idea and that thing. And I think they're really helpful. I'm going to be honest, this one is outdated. I do not read this one anymore. You can change these a lot. I think you should reevaluate where you are at all times. Take some time to reflect and meditate on things. And this is the exact one I used to read, and I'm going to just tear it up now because I do not use this one anymore. And I'd recommend anybody who is trying to get somewhere that they're having trouble, that they haven't, gotten to where they want, give it a shot. It might sound silly to some people, but I'll tell you what, they're pretty important to me. So I hope this helped you guys, and in my next video, I will be explaining the trip that I'm taking. I'm leaving September 11th. So in my next video, I'll talk to you guys. It'll be a little bit funner of a video. This was more informative. My trip to Southeast Asia, and you guys can weigh in and give me any tips or places that anyone has been to see. I would love to hear about it. As always, email me if you have any questions. I'd love to hear what kind of personality types you've got and try to help you understand what they mean. This thing does a great job of explaining it all. But if you have any questions, or even if you just like to share and talk more, I'd love to talk about my personality type and as yours as well. Also, the one thing, like I said, links below. Definitely check it out. One of my favorite books, probably top 1 or 2. And that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. So as always, please feel free to subscribe to this video if you liked what you saw. Give me a thumbs up and comment, share the video. I'm in the middle of setting up a Facebook page with a lot more content. It'll be called Sam's One Life. And definitely check it out if you guys are interested and like what you're hearing so far. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.